What's up, everybody? This is T with the Stay Win Doc Sports Podcast coming to you live from Havana Rays. We've got
Marquise Dupree with the Stay Win Doc Sports Podcast, Havana Rays. I think it's all the good alcohol we have around us. I don't know, we kind of lit tonight.
And we also got a special guest in the house tonight. We got Mr. Jimmie Sharp, so we're going to stay on point. See what I did there? He's going to introduce himself.
So I'm Jimmie Sharp. I'm the co-founder and head distiller at John Emerald Distilling Company.
Oh, man.
Out of Opelika, Alabama.
Okay. Opelika.
Yeah. We got the first legally distilled whiskey in the state since Prohibition.
Wow.
Not the first whiskey, but the first legal
the
whiskey.
first legal one. Since Prohibition.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
There's actually distilled in the state, that is.
I got that.
Yeah, there's been a few brands come in and out, but as far as actually made in the state.
Made in the state,
right.
not imported from somewhere else.
Right, or just brothers, or like compared to like the brands owned in the state or something like that. But but the whiskey's actually made. It's not only made in Alabama and distilled, aged, and all that, and bottled. It's also about 95% of all of our raw ingredients come from local farms.
It's sourced
like
locally.
We source the grains and stuff.
Whoa,
and,
that's amazing. So give them the name of it. Tell them where they can find it.
John Emerald Distilling Company. You can find, this is our single malt whiskey. That's kind of our flagship. It's you can find that at most every ABC store, certainly the ABC Select stores. You can find it here at Havana Rays. Cottage Hill carries it. You know, a lot of stores around the state carry it. And we distribute it to a few other states as well.
Okay.
But
I love the way it's packaged, by the way. I just think that package
thanks.
is just simple and
yeah, we wanted to do something kind of classic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way the
Stoic.
package is. Right.
I'll use the word.
And
stoic.
I love the cork. And that's one thing I'm always looking for is what type of cork.
Looks natural and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I like that too. We wanted everything to kind of. I mean, the packaging has to communicate. If you see it on the shelf, you don't know, you haven't tasted it. So the only thing I got to talk to you with is this packaging.
Right.
So it's got to
impact branding.
It's got to talk to you by how it looks. So
are you guys only located in the state of Alabama, or do you?
We're only. As far as production is all done in Opelika.
So that is a great gift if you give them like somebody outside.
You want to give a local
right.
Thing,
Like
that's right.
And all you farm to table and local source people.
Right.
Hey, now you got a spirit to
we
go
call
after.
We call it ground to glass.
Ground to glass.
That's how we
there
say
you
it
go.
for the whiskey purposes.
So you can only find that in the state of Alabama.
No, we sell.
They sell out of state.
We sell in Georgia. We sell in Tennessee, and then we sell through Texas. But Texas, we mostly do. We use our Texas distributor for online sales, so you can get it on. We mainly use a company called Tipsy.com, and they.
I'm familiar. I've heard.
So I could take that to Florida and ball out like I got some rest.
There you go.
Right. So tell us a little bit of history.
Yeah.
How long you guys been around and that type of stuff.
Right. So it's been about. I think we're working on our 12th year now. Me and my dad started it together. We had a momentary lapse. We say our family curses we don't dare start any hobbies, or we're going to wreck it by trying to open a business out of it. So, whiskey was no exception. So we got into trade. I was interested in whiskeys while I was studying my family history, which is Scottish when you go way back.
Oh, okay.
And you can't learn about Scotland without learning about Scotch. So I got interested in Scotches and trying different things. And
There's a connection to lineage. There,
Yes, that's
there.
right.
I think I might be Scottish.
there you go.
On your mother's side.
Yeah.
That's right. But and then when we got started, when we made the decision to go ahead and open the distillery.
You and your dad, correct?
Was that?
You said you and your dad.
Me and my
correct?
father, did
Okay.
it together, and we did it mainly because I had a subcontracting company before this, and I traveled pretty excessively, and I was never hard. I was home like a week out of every month, if that. And I started having kids, and I didn't want to miss my kids growing up.
Right.
I finally went. If you want to convince your wife to invest all your family's money in a distillery, the best way is say it's for the baby. You know,
I'm gonna unpack a lot for you.
So that worked out good, but. I managed to get an internship in Scotland, so I got to go back over there and train at a distillery
really?
in Scotland.
Wow.
A place called Springbank, which
That's awesome.
yeah, it was super fun. It was great, and that's where whiskeys come from. The first whiskeys in the world were made in Scotland, so it's like going back to the whiskey motherland kind of thing, learning
It's
the
like
trade.
the
That's
Mecca.
very interesting because I didn't know that. Now, is there like with cognac? The cognac grapes come from the region of Cognac and France.
That's right. So cognac is a brandy.
Right.
So, that's Scotch comes from Scotland.
Right. So.
But Scotch is also the first whiskey.
Gotcha.
So Scotch is a subcategory of whiskey as well. So whiskey is anything distilled from grain.
Okay.
And then you got Scotch whiskey made in Scotland, all with 100% malted barley, which this is as well.
And that's like
when
the
I say
top,
Jimmy,
that's
you
the
just-
top line. That's
just the original.
Gotcha.
So like the first whiskeys were made in Scotland. Now you might meet an Irishman that might fight you over that.
Yeah.
But most historians agree that the first whiskeys came out of Scotland. But but
Good
then,
ones anyway.
That's right. That's right. The right or historian. But then, of course, you got, America happened, and then people, and mostly Scotch and Irish guys came over to America, and they were trying to make whiskey like they had from their homeland, and they ended up over that course of doing that, bourbon emerged, and just from what local grains were available, which was corn mostly.
Right.
So they made bourbon from that, and we do make a bourbon as well. Right now we have a blended bourbon we call Purveyor Series, and that's out in all the stuff. We have this year, we have our first bottled in bond bourbon that's going to come out this fall. So we're super excited about that. That was where I found specialty grains and corns, particularly a corn called Bloody Butcher corn, which is a red and black kernel corn.
Are you tasting that right now?
I don't have it out of the barrel yet. I don't have it in a bottle yet. But a bottle in bond has to be 4 years old.
Oh, yes. Tell us about that barrel process.
And so that's coming out this fall. And it'll be, not only is it 100% Alabama, everything, it's all that, we live in Lee County. All the grains come from Lee County.
Shout out Lee County.
Super local. We're just trying to take we try to be as local as we can, and mostly that's applied statewide. We make some rum, and we make that from local sugar cane that we get from various farmers and things like that. And that's kind of fun because there's not a lot of, there's not big sugarcane farms in Alabama like you get in Louisiana or Florida.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Alabama,
little,
like it's little patches.
Yeah, that's what they call
Like
it.
you go around Albertville, Louisiana, they known for growing like fields and fields of sugar cane.
Now let me ask you this though,
Kind
because
of like Monroeville and used to do
Yeah,
with cotton and all
Monroeville,
that.
because
But
I think of-
I just know about sugar cane because my family from Monroeville, we grew sugar cane, but sugar cane is really hard to find in large acreage in Alabama.
Yeah.
that's wild because I always thought of like Alligator syrup and all
Louisiana
that.
is
Like,
the biggest-
I've been
I think
educated today.
Alligator syrup, I think, is mostly, it's got cane syrup in it, but it's mostly corn syrup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's good. It's good
Sugar
syrup. Don't get me
is
wrong.
pretty
but
much in
it's-
Louisiana. Like Louisiana, and I want to say
They're the biggest growers.
Yeah.
Florida and Louisiana are the biggest cane growers in the state or in the country.
Now let me ask you this, Jimmy, if you don't mind.
Yep.
I see you got a single malt here.
Yeah.
What goes into a good single malt? Give us that process.
So,
if you don't mind.
so every category of spirit has what they call a standard of identity.
Okay.
So, in fact, American single malt only became an official category a year ago this December.
Oh,
so it's
really?
only been we've been making it for almost 10 years now, but
Official category only for a year.
only for a year. It's been an official American single malt. We always called ours a single malt because it met all the criteria. And then there's a group called the American. It's a stupid long acronym. The American Single Malt Makers, or I don't know, it's too many letters, but it's American Single Malt
Those
Association.
guys.
Yeah. But and now we were a member of that, and we pushed to get the government to make what's called a TTB, is the agency that handles it, to get a standard of identity made. And what that does is it protects the category, so people can't put that on their label.
They have
If they don't meet the
authentication.
criteria to do it, right?
right.
Just like bourbon has it already. You got to be 51% corn. You got to be made in the United States. You got to be
And it has to
aged
be
in a
vetted.
virgin.
wow,
barrel
this
and
is
all
so
that.
much. So I got one question for you.
Yeah.
I just always keep. What would it take for me to get my own barrel?
Well,
If I ever hit a rich, can I just get my own custom barrel?
Yeah, we do it all the time. We do 53 gallons, and we do which is a standard barrel size, and then we do what they call quarter casks, which are 15-gallon barrels. And people will somebody did it not that long ago. Came in and bought a quarter cask for their wedding, and they just had it bottled. We put a little special label on it. We put like a little rocker label across the bottom, and
Wow.
put something special on there, whatever they want to write
So
on
you
it.
personalize it.
Yeah, personalize it for them, and then
And you can get that with your online presence
And that's a
as well.
single malt,
Yeah.
or is that just?
Well, we do it single malt. We do it with our. We'll offer that with our new bourbons as they come out.
Right.
We have that bottled in bond. That's a wheated bourbon that's coming out this year.
Right.
And then chasing behind that, we have a high rye bourbon, which I don't know if y'all know the difference is just.
yeah, I'll take
that when bourbons, you got 51% corn at least, and usually you're in the high 60% corn. Most brands, and ours is no exception. And then you have what's called the flavoring grain after that, and usually that's either wheat or rye.
Gotcha.
And in our case, and then sometimes you call it balanced bourbon, meaning it's equal parts wheat and rye after the corn. But in our case, the new one that's coming out, the bottle and bond, that'll be a wheated bourbon. Which
Now let me ask you, Jim, I don't mean to step on you.
That's all right.
But when you say bottled and bond, is that the process or is that like the authentication
Bottle
process?
and bond is a substandard of identity. So the first standard of identity is it's bourbon. The second one is it's a bottle and bond. And bottle and bond means it's 4 years old and it's made at one distillery, so it can't be a blend. It's got to be made from
In-house,
that and
right?
at that distillery,
Yeah.
100%. And it's bottled at least 100 proof. But the idea was back in the 1800s, so I couldn't tell you the exact year, but America passed a bill, the Bottled and Bond Act of 18 whatever.
Yeah.
And it was basically, the spirit of the law was to prevent shysters from making things that
Counterfeit.
kind of even the playing field, so you as a
Yeah.
consumer can go buy the bottle and bonds from all these different companies, and they had to meet all these criteria. So the only difference is who made it. So
Yeah.
everything else is the same. The proof's the same. The age
Yeah,
is the
uniformity.
same. That's
Wow.
right.
Wow.
So it's just a way for you as a customer to evaluate which is the best based on nothing but that place made it. Yeah.
And then you get from a quality control standpoint, you can actually look at like that's. I'm learning like it's crazy because
Yeah.
this is one of the most educational interviews that we've ever done. I'm learning like
Bro, we about to go over. Cause
yeah.
I said it for 5 minutes, but
Yeah,
this is very, very interesting. This is the
yeah.
type of stuff that we like to tap
It's
into. a little bit.
educating,
But I have one question for you because I know
Sure.
we really have to let you go. If I have to drink one bottle of your brand,
Yeah.
of your whiskey, what would that brand you recommend?
My record is
For the rest of my life.
always my single malt whiskey. I love this. I mean, maybe it's first child syndrome because I made this first, but it's got the most accolades for us. And it's,
Hold it up.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, put it to the camera.
There you go. Get a
There you
look.
go. Y'all see that?
See
Get
the
that
horse on
Alabama. Because that is the gift. If you're going anywhere out of state, overseas, pick it up. You can't find it anywhere but Alabama. Just saying.
Yeah.
Until
You can find it in
everyone,
other states, but it's from Alabama.
to everyone who's there conscious for real though, from the point of being a conscious consumer, everybody talks about local sourcing and things like that. You got a great product.
Great
I was
product.
just about to say.
Sourced here, grain, everything, the
And
ingredients.
it pairs with any cigar.
Oh,
I'm just
single
saying.
single malt's made for cigars in my opinion.
Right.
Now let me ask you this, Jimmy, and I hate to be because
No,
again
no.
I'm just trying. My brain's going everywhere.
Yeah.
I've heard single malt, and I've also heard you say you guys do make a bourbon, correct?
We do.
That's the double
Okay.
barrel.
No, what I'm saying is, what does they mean by when they say small batch bourbon?
Small batch. There's no rule about it.
Okay.
But so it's really relative to that company. So
Okay.
at our scale, on the grand scheme of things, we're a small operation.
Gotcha.
We make. I probably
In scale, not in impact.
right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Fair
And
enough.
they got to come and see that facility.
Yeah, we're downtown
I want
Opelika.
a
We do
tour. I want a tour.
tours.
We
and all
want a
that.
tour.
Yeah, we should definitely. I'd love to give you all tours. It's great. And we got a little tasting room, and we're actually looking at expanding it right now. Well, we got some opportunities to move into some other space to kind of grow. It's an old cotton warehouse that we converted into a distillery.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at Opelika there, but yeah, no, single malts are, I think, great for cigar smoking. Where bourbons tend to be a little sweeter, and I don't know if and some people's palates will say, oh no, the single malt's sweeter, but the bourbons have kind of like caramel notes, that kind of sweetness.
Yeah.
Caramel, vanilla kind of, where single malts have like a sweet bread kind of, like
So is
maybe a
that-
little bit of honey kind of notes.
So that's kind of like when they say they put like stuff in certain casks. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
The finishing casks. and
Yeah,
things like
right.
that, yeah.
Explain that. I know we got to go, but it's
Yeah, man, like I'm
Finish-
truly engaged.
Yeah, no, I
I
like-
hear that
I
all
like-
the time. Like,
I
well,
love talking about
that's a
this stuff,
whiskey and a
but-
cognac cask. Like, what does that mean?
Well, so let's just take bourbon, for instance. Bourbon has to be aged in a virgin or first use American white oak barrel with a full char. That's part of the standard of identity of bourbon. But you're allowed to take it out of that barrel and put it in another barrel after it's aged and there's no specific time it has to age, unless if you say the word straight bourbon, it's got to be 2 years.
Right.
Bottle and bond's got to be 4. So there's different levels of that. But outside of using that terminology, there's no rule about how long in the barrel. But I mean, you'd be crazy not to go at least 2. But and that's just my opinion. But
Being an aficionado,
my
I took
correct
to-
yet
yeah,
humble
yeah,
opinion.
I love giving. I'm gonna call you the king of whiskey.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're my king of whiskey.
But the finishing aging is just a way
Down the emerald.
to put it. Now, the Scotch industry does that a lot because Scotland has a lot of strict rules about what they can do with on the distilling side. So like they're limited to a certain kind of still, and so every country's got different brand of stupid on what regulations they want to put on everybody.
Protocol and
Right,
procedure.
right.
Yeah, and in the U.S. we had the rule of it's got to be a new barrel, and that I mean why? There's a lot of theories on why. I don't know the right answer to that, but that's the rule anyways. But so to differentiate your brand, sometimes people will throw it. Like we've got a bottle over there that we're sampling on. We do a honey cask where we trade the barrel to a beekeeper, and he ages honey in it. He takes the honey out. Then we put this whiskey back in the barrel for 6 months, and it just gets a little kiss of honey. It's not like It's not like a Jack honey or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Just a
just a
little
hint.
hint. Yeah.